Hello, everybody. It's Carina from Break Fear, Find Freedom. And today I have a very, very interesting guest. But before I introduce our guest to us for this beautiful podcast, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you believe everything you see in the news? Do you just turn a blind eye and say, well, you know what? Someone can do that, or I can't do it on my own, or it's not true. And do you believe everything that people in power tell you? Do you think that they are right, or is there a hidden agenda? Our guest today, Gianni Salvatore, questions everything, and he's not going to accept anything at face value. But I'll ask him to explain why he's come to this point in his life and why he does this, why he's insistent on this mission on showing people the truth. So today's podcast is really about truth. On that note, hello, Gianni. How are you today?
I'm all right. How you doing? Good evening. And I hope all your viewers are having a good day. And I hope they're having a lovely time. And I hope they're ready for this. They're ready for some truth.
I hope so, because truth is one of the exciting parts about this podcast. We always talk truth. Truth is important, right? But before we go into your truth, tell me a bit about who Gianni really is.
Well, okay. Let me explain something to you or to the audience and everything. I'm just like a normal human being like everybody else. All right. I don't have anything special about me. I'm not special. And like everyone thinks because you have achieved something in life, you're special. You're not. You're just like everybody else. The thing is that sometimes you're gifted with something. But you just got to find that gift within yourself and you just got to chase it. And you got to have that dream. And then you got to make sure that your dream is so scary that it keeps you up in the night. Even your dream wakes you up. This is what dream is about. So when you dream of something, you should be scared. You should be scared to chase that dream. That means that your dream is the true dream you need to follow. So in my case, I'm one of those guys that I started to see the truth as a lie and a lie as a truth.
Okay.
And once you have that means the whole shift of what you know, it's not true. And what is not true, they want to present it as the truth, the lies as the truth. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me, how I started and everything. I think you should know this. I think people should know this, especially the youngsters. They need to know why and how and I am what I am today. When I was growing up, I'm going to tell, this is for the youth. So the youth should know this. Yeah. You're looking at me right now, the way I'm sitting, all right? I'm going to be blatant with you. I'm going to be quite straight up with you. I'm wearing my sunglasses. My hair looks good. I wear nice clothes, all right? I've got a nice watch. I've got everything nice. But it doesn't just come just like that. Mm-hmm. You have to work for it. Yes. And the work ethics is one of the most important things in life. All right. A lot of youngsters think that they cannot achieve this. Of course they can. I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. All right. When I was growing up, I was by far, I'm not going to go really into details because I've done it in a lot of my podcasts before, that what happened to me when I was young and I was abused and everything. I'm not going to go into details with that one. But if you would like me to, I can. But we can go into it afterwards if you want to know. But let me explain. Growing up, I was by far one of the most ugliest things you'll ever see. Even the mirror refused to look at me back. This is how ugly I was as a person. I was skinny. My elbows were bigger than my arms. My knees were bigger than my legs. My ears used to be sticking out. All right. So being ugly and not wanted by people, being bullied by people and everything, it can go two ways. It always goes two ways. Yeah. Either depends on how you're raised, depends how your mindset fits with you. Either you can give up and you can fall into this abyss where you start feeling sorry for yourself and you go and hide in a corner and always feel sorry for yourself and you think, I'm never going to be anybody. Or
yes,
you wake up the sleeping lion within yourself, the beast which is hidden within yourself. Because every man, every woman has a beast within themselves. The thing is you just have to find that beast. And once you find that beast, then nothing matters. And that's what happened to me. The more I got hated, the more I got picked on, the more I got bullied, the more I wanted to show the world that, look, you're doing this to me today, tomorrow I'll be the one who's sitting here and you're still doing what you're doing. And that was my goal. So I was so ugly that women used to look at me and go, damn it, we need to go and wash our eyes. This is how ugly I was. But that motivated me. That motivated me. When I used to get bullied, that motivated me. You know, me getting bullied, I didn't care. I still saved other people from getting bullied. Why? Because I felt the pain. And that's one thing I'm blessed. I am blessed. I thank God for one thing, only one thing. People can name a lot of things. People will talk about money. People will talk about all this. Oh, I'm glad that I'm blessed with money. I'm blessed with kids. I'm blessed with everything amazing. I'll tell you what I was blessed with. I was blessed by God with one thing. I don't give up. I don't know how to give up. If you put a gun to my head, all right, I'll just look and go, don't waste your time. Because you got to do what you got to do. I will do what I got to do. But don't waste time because you're wasting my time. So my mentality is this. When you're going to be backed in a corner, you take your claws out. You take everything that you have, your inner energy, and you take it out and you say, I will fight back. And that's what it is. I fought back. I started to look good, all right, to be a part of the community or school. I started to dress differently. I started to design my own clothes. I started to wear different clothes. Little that I knew that when I started dressing up, started doing my own clothes, people used to pick on me more. They were like, okay, he's ugly and he dressed weird. He's a weirdo. Little that they knew that what I'm doing is not to please them. It's to create something within myself, to wake myself up to how I'm going to be better myself every single day. So I worked on myself every single day. Because I was abused as a child, I could not speak until the age of 13. And look at me now. Look at me now. So I'm going to tell all the youngsters, look at me, look at the way I talk. Look at the passion I have. Look at the drive I have. Nobody gave it to me. Nobody handed it to me. I worked for it. I worked my backside to become everything. I learned how to speak. I paid attention to every single word which came out of my mouth and how it came out and how other people took it. I learned everything myself. I self-taught myself how to become this person.
You talk about rules, right? So let me go back. We'll go to the military. You mentioned the military. And like I'm in San Diego because I'm in contact with a lot of military people because obviously we're close to Camp Pendleton, right? And you can see the difference in people. You can see the military people and you can see the so-called the other people, okay? And the military people are very, very respectful. They're very respectful, like yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and it's really beautiful to see. However, I feel that it's almost like they've been pushed and molded into something, right? So they're following rules. And is that okay to follow rules at the cost of losing yourself?
You asking me a question?
Yes, I'm asking you the question.
Okay. Now I'm going to answer you everything you've just said. You said rules. So there's two rules.
Okay.
Yeah. There's rules made by God, and there's rules made by the humans. And the humans usually follow their rules, which they made themselves. So you're telling me that the humans are so clever that when they make rules, they're the perfect rules and they cannot be broken and they're going to be perfect for the rest of their life. And now you talk about the army. So I'm going to give you something about the army. You're telling me when the army goes into the war, all right, they're doing the right thing. They follow the rules.
No.
I'm about to tell you. So you telling me that when the army went into Iraq, that was right?
No, I'm not.
It wasn't. Now I'm going to tell you something. That's a man-made rule. Okay? That's a man-made rule that you want to go into somebody else's country, kill 6 million people, destroy their homes, destroy everything that they have because your generals and your heads, rules made by humans. All right? Listen to this. These are rules made by humans because humans have said, we know the rules. I just want to be a good person. I want to be this. I want to be that. Okay, in my eyes, the people in Iraq, Saddam Hussein is a bad guy, and I want to kill him. Made by humans, and they have killed 6 million people. Now, I'm going to tell you something else, all right? When I talk about rules of God, all right, you know that I don't come across as a stupid person. You think I'm easily pushed into anything? You think I haven't done my research? You think I don't pay attention to everything that is being told to me? I'm going to tell you what I have been told. I have been told by my rules, the rules which I follow. You think about you second. You think about others first. Yes. That's one rule I live by, and that's rule by God. I get told that you cannot raise your voice at a woman, all right? That's a rule made by God for me, that you don't raise your voice at a woman, all right? I'm giving you rules which you don't know about. And the thing is whatever you've been fed, because you're sitting here and I'm sitting here, we're trying to seek truth. And the truth, what we've been told, is by the people who have made these rules. The establishment has made these rules. The establishment have told you what is right and wrong. The establishment have said the women need to go out there and work because they need to be same as men. Women can never be same as men, and men can never be same as a woman, because a woman gives birth. When the woman gives birth, she raises a man who is a good man if the woman teaches him a good thing. It's a woman's job to create a nation. A man does not create a nation. A woman creates a nation. So how can we disrespect a woman? All right? When you get married to a woman, your job as a man is to make sure that you provide everything that she needs. You provide her food, you provide a home, you provide her protection, you provide her everything, all right? If men don't do that, and women think they can do everything else, when the war breaks out, you think women are going to be in front line fighting, all right? And men are going to be in the house doing their nails? I don't think so. So the thing is there are different things. We got to respect women. When you get married to a woman, you cannot raise your voice at a woman. You cannot swear in front of a woman. All right? These are rules made by God how to respect a woman. Another thing, when you're a man, as a man, listen to the rules which men have to follow every day as done by God. You cannot raise your voice at your mother. You cannot raise your voice as your mother. If your mother tells you to stand, you stand. If your mother tells you to sit, you sit. If your father tells you to go and do something, you go and do it. That's a respect factor. So the religion is teaching you respect, and this world is teaching you don't respect. Don't respect your parents. You know who you are. You know better than your parents. You're not seeing the breakdown. When I asked you about the truth is this, that they have manipulated us in a way of thinking that women are weaker than men. Women are 10 times stronger than the man, because that woman has given birth to a man like me. So how can that woman be a weak woman when she's given birth to me and she raised me into a man to respect every single woman? When she has raised me to stand in front of a bullet for a woman, how can that woman be a weak woman? That's one of the strongest women ever. We forget one thing, that if it wasn't for a woman, there will be no man. Yes. So how can you, for me, women are more precious than men. So this society has made us believe that women are weak, so weak. Men don't let women do this, men don't let women do that. There's a reason behind why men are doing this. I'm going to ask you, if people talk about equality, would you go and work in a coal mine as a woman?
No,
work as hard as a man can?
Of course, I wouldn't work. Oh, sorry. What is
Why?
that? Because I don't enjoy working in a coal mine.
See,
but I mean,
this is the thing.
but
You
the
telling
thing,
me?
yeah, now, Gianni, okay, I just want to swap this around for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay, just
please,
listen.
please, please.
What I'm saying is that I agree with you, right? And in a relationship, you have to have those roles so that you can work together. But you work together, you know. But what about the man that so you sometimes that relationship doesn't work for whatever reasons. I mean, I'm not going to go into that. And a
No,
woman,
please do,
okay,
because I want to know everything.
Okay, so what I'm saying is in a relationship, a lot of times you have alcohol. Now, you were talking about alcohol, okay? You
Yes,
have
I
alcohol
was.
coming in, the relationships break down, or the husband doesn't respect the wife, or the wife doesn't respect the husband. Whatever it is, the relationship breaks down. And the woman is stuck on her own with a child or two. What is she going to do? She has to become like a man to survive, to look after her children. So if she has to go and work in a coal mine, that's what she has to do to survive so that she can look after her children. Because that man, he's like, oh, you know what? I'm not interested now. You're not with me. My responsibilities have gone. Not all men, and I'm not saying all men. That's not fair. Okay, I'm just
100%. We're not talking like that. We don't hate men or women.
no.
We're
I'm saying
generalizing. We're not
this.
generalizing. We talk about few.
So that's what and it happens a lot because you see it a lot where women are stuck. They're stuck with these children. What are they going to do? You're going to do anything you can to survive and to look after your children. So if it means going, so that what happens is you have to embody your male. You have to become a man. You have to embody men characteristics to survive, right?
See, this is where I don't agree with you totally, because I'll explain something to you. You don't have to become a man to go and work as a woman. You can be a nurse. You can be a firefighter.
Yes, you can. But what I'm saying is you have to embody those characteristics. You've got to become a provider. The man is traditionally is a provider. Yeah. You've got to become the provider. So you've got to start thinking about how to become a provider. That's what I'm saying. So
but there's nothing wrong with that. So that's not the difference between a man and a woman. That's just a situation. You're talking about a certain percentage of the situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm generalizing things. I'm just saying, in a generalizing way, a man and a woman, we have different roles. Now, the problem we are facing, like I told you, I'm going to give you something. In 1930s, they told Rockefeller spent like 7, 8, 9 billion to get women to go out of their homes and start working. Do you think they were doing it to empower women? I don't think so. They were doing it so they can make more money. So the more women go out there and work, the more money they make. If you're making 40 pounds, you're giving 5 pounds to them, every woman. So that's what they did. What happened to the kids? The kids are out. The kids are out with in the schools or with the caretakers and everything, and they're teaching your kids how not to be. If a mother, this is where the society started to break down. Now, if you look at it, when I was growing up, I used to get one of these. See this? I used to get one of them. Look at me. Did it affect me? No, it made me into a better person. So now you can't even speak to your kids in a way because they've taken that away. Why do you think it's happening? They're doing this so there is no unity left.
Yes, of course.
And I'll tell you another thing.
And of the society and of the family union as well.
Yeah, but the most important thing, you take away man's masculinity, a man becomes a weak man. And that weak man is a man who can't handle a woman, who leaves a woman, all right? That is what it is. Do you want to know statistics? I'll give you statistics, okay? These are statistics. These are not my words. This is not what I'm making up. I'm giving you statistics. If I was to tell you 80% of the men who are in jail, who are they? They're from a single mother home, all right? 30% of men who rape, where are they from? Single mother home. All right? If I was keep on giving you all these statistics, it's not a woman's fault. Again, it's a man's fault for not being there. Look, men have become weak. That's why I talk about men need to be strong. All right? Men need to act like a man. So what if you freaking argue? So what if you argue with your woman? That doesn't give you the right to walk away from her. That doesn't give you a right to walk away from her. If The thing is this, right? Me and my wife were having a chat the other day, and I was trying to explain to her, and she said, "Do you know what? We should not fight in front of the kids because it's bad for the kids." And I said, "Darling, honey, listen, listen, listen to this face, because this face is about to drop a bombshell at you. I will argue in front of my kids because I want my kids to know that this is natural. People argue. And then my kids will see me go out, buy flowers, buy cake, even though I don't want it to get fat, but I will buy a lot of cakes, all right? And I'm going to get her cakes. Then I will present it to her. Then I will get down on one knee. I will kiss her hand. And my kids see that as well. Yes. Do you understand what I'm doing?
Yes,
I'm teaching them that if there is bad, there is good. And the good always prevail than bad. But we are sheltering our kids. We are making our kids into wimps. All right? We're making our men into wimps. We are making our women into wimps. It's so freaking easy to break up. Don't break up. Never break up. Don't ever break up. Doesn't matter what you have to go through. What are you, weak? Weak men break up. Weak men walk away from a woman. Yeah, if a woman is not a good woman, if a woman is a flirty woman, if she flirts with other men, then yes, I believe you should leave her because she's not a good, that's not good. And same goes for men. If your man disrespects you, if he shouts at you, if he disrespects you, if he hits you, leave him. He doesn't deserve you. Leave that man. And leave that man and teach your kids how to be a proper man. Don't be vindictive, though. That's the way the problem happened. You got to understand psychology. The problem is people don't know psychology. They haven't read psychology. They don't understand. A woman, 90% of the women, when they break up, they will tarnish the man's name. They will go around sitting with their women, with their friends. They will talk bad about the man, and everything happens. And I have never, ever seen, I'm a man, I got friends, right? If I argue with my wife, this is what happens, right? Check this out. If me and my wife ever argue, I go to my friend, they say, "Man, you look stressed out." I'll turn around and say, "Man, me and her had a fight." And they're like, you know, women, they always fight. Let's get on a gym. That's it. That's our conversation done. And then they're pumping cricket, and they're pumping weights, picking up weights. We take our things out. We get tired. We come home. I look at my wife. I see a little smile on her face. If it's not a smile on her face, I'll put a smile on her face, and we are back to normal. But the thing is this, you men need to be men. We are, I'm sorry I'm going to use this word, and I hate using this word. We are making pussies. We are not making men anymore. We are making wimps. We are making kids, grown-up kids who've been sheltered from everything which is bad is happening to the world. So what? Grow up.
Yes, no, I agree with you there. But it's also with a woman as well. You need to, and just I want to go back a thing about women. Okay, not all women are the same, right? No. It also depends on emotional intelligence, because some women, like for me, I couldn't be bothered. It's got nothing to do with anyone what's happening in my house. It's between me and my husband or my boyfriend or whatever it is. Yes. So not everyone's the same, and people need to understand that. There was a saying. Now I'm going to be a bit rude. My grandmother used to have a saying in Italian, like she'd say, when you've got now this is gross, okay, I'm just going to say it's gross. When you've got some feces, feces, yeah. And you get a stick and you stir it, right? And you stir it, and the more you stir it, the more it stinks. And that's what people need to understand, because it's got nothing to do with, if you tell your friends about your relationship or about your argument, you get over your argument with your husband, but your friend still hates your husband because of what you've told her. So it becomes messy and dirty. And so women need to stop that too. So again, it's about
I'm going to tell you something really beautiful. In the religions which I read, you're not allowed to talk about your wife to another man. You're not allowed to say a word about your wife to another human being, because God says that if you talk about your wife to another man, all right, that is one of the most disgusting things you are done, and I will not forgive you. for that, because your woman, doesn't matter what happens, it's a precious thing to you. It's the mother of your kids. You do not disrespect the woman. So when you tell me that the religions, when people tell me, oh, I don't like, it's a word I've heard so many times, the word you use. What is it? You said something about religions being like
based on fear. Religions are based on fear. Man-made religions are based on fear.
There is no man-made religion apart from Christianity, the new one.
Well, if you look at, let's go into any religion. I'm not going to mention any religion. It's all based on fear. If you don't do what the priests say you have to do, you will be damned to hell or whatever it is. Right? They're based on fear.
I'm sorry. Isn't that the way the police works? Isn't that the way the government works? I don't get people.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you've got to get over your fear. You've got to realize that at the end of the day, you as a person know your truth. That's what I'm saying. You need to know who you are. You discovered who you were, Gianni. You discovered Gianni, right? You discovered that passion within you, and that's what's coming out so that you can change the world, right?
Yes.
And you did it. I mean, of course, you listen to people, you listen to religions, you listen to your government, you listen to everybody, but you need to be tuning enough. Well, I'm just saying, you have to give them you have to listen. Just let me finish, okay?
Sorry,
what I'm saying, I know what you're saying. What I'm saying is you listen to them because you have to give them, you can't just shut everything off. That's what I'm saying. You can listen to it, but you need to know truth within yourself. You need to have faith within yourself and know, because only then when you know that truth within yourself, when you find that power within yourself, do you know what's right or wrong for you? Okay.
How do you find the truth within yourself? Please do tell me. That's one thing I really would love to know.
Because I know what's right or wrong. Now, for me, integrity is, for example, for me, integrity is important, right? So what I say is what I do. Okay, my word, what I say, my word is my bond, right? That kind of thing. Okay.
That's respectful.
Okay. And of course, and another thing, if it's about respect as well. I think we've got to respect each other as people more than anything else.
100%. 100%.
How do you respect your other people if you don't respect yourself? So how do you get, because let's go back to abuse, okay? Let's go back to the abuse story because it's relevant, right? So how many women stay in abusive situations because they've broken down, their confidence is finished, they have no respect for themselves anymore. So what happens is that they get more and more abused because they stay in that situation. So what I'm saying
100%.
So that's another story. We have to help lift people up. But it's about people at the end of the day. It's about us respecting ourselves so we can respect each other, loving ourselves so we can love each other. I mean, I know it sounds like a Pollyanna, but surely that's where it starts.
So I'm going to give you two things, right? Please. The thing is I'll tell you why am I so much into the religion. Right? I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't be sitting in front of you. I wouldn't be losing millions and millions and millions of pounds. All right? I could be a billionaire by now, right? Easily. When I say billionaire, I'm not joking with it. Easily. Okay. I would have been a billionaire within a matter of days. I can't be.
Okay.
But that's the difference. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The thing is I have morals. I have respect. I have followed a path of a religion which taught me what is right and wrong. And if you don't do that, you'll be fine. And when you keep on telling me that, oh, if you don't follow this, it's a fear. I'm sorry. Tell me one thing you don't do without fear. Fear makes you want to do the right thing. Fear and respect. You got it wrong. It's not fear. It's respect. You get it wrong when people talk about the religion teaches you fear. Of course, it needs to teach you fear because you teach your kids fear. If you don't listen, I'm going to tell your father. We all do it, but yet this is what I mean. I don't understand hypocrisy in life. I'm a very logical person. I don't agree with hypocrisy. Oh, if you do this, you're going to go to prison. It's a fear. We live Every day we live is a fear, but that's okay though. That's okay that you can be feared by the government. You can be feared by those people who control you, who slave you, who make you into who you are, but you cannot fear God, the one who wants you to be a good person, who wants you to look after your neighbors, who
But
wants you to put yourself before other people.
But I don't agree with you though, because you don't fear God. If I fear God, then I'm not going to be and I'm not going to have a relationship with God. I'm not going to be able to listen to God because I'm going to be afraid. I'm not going to be able to sit with him and talk to him and say him or her or whatever it is. Okay, let's just
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not going to be
I
able
wasn't
to
saying that.
sit and say, hey, you know what, this is what I need. Show me the way. Let me, if I fear something, I'm not going to have the courage or the faith to follow. I'm not going to have the courage and the faith to feel it within me and to hear him or her or it or whatever inside me saying, hey, Carina, this is right, this is wrong, go this way. Because how else do we live if we don't live and listen to our intuition? And that's part of God, right? But if I'm afraid of it, I'm not going to follow it. That's the difference.
See, this is what it is. See, now I'm going to tell you something. You don't fear God. This is where you're going wrong. You don't fear God.
But
you
that's
fear
what
the
you said. You feared
No,
God.
what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily that you fear God. You fear the consequences, like anything else. Like if you're in this world, if you do something wrong against the government, you fear the consequences. Like for instance, if you hit someone by accident and the person dies, you're going to fear what the consequences are, even though you haven't done it on purpose. It's the consequences. So the fear factor. Let me explain something to you. Have you ever been in a fight game? I have. And I'm going to tell you something. Fear is something what man crave. We need to be feared. We need to fear things for us to our inner self to come out. The mother needs to fear for her kid to save her kid. Fear is a big factor of your life. Fear is what makes you who you are. People don't realize that you are talking to me about things which has been planted in your head for the last hundreds of years. That, oh no, religion, fear, religion is the cause of all the wars. Religion is this, religion is that. Tell me one fight at the moment which is fighting for religion. It is all fear. They are the ones who are fearing you. Where God says, don't fight. Don't hurt your fellow people. Do you want to know something really important about a religion? I'm going to give you a thing about a religion. I'm going to tell you, and you tell me what you think. All right? If you go in a war, I'm going to talk about Islam now. Okay. I was reading up something and I fell in love with this thing so much that I had tears in my eyes and I was like, God damn it, this is what religion is. All right? When you go in a war in Islam, all right, imagine there are two people. Imagine hypothetically, there is Muslim army fighting against another army. The Muslim army, the leader will come to you and they will tell you, you're going into war. You do not harm a child. You do not harm a woman. You do not harm an old man. You do not cut trees. You do not break houses. You do not cut their fields which has food in it. You don't do any of that. And they went, how do we fight if we don't do that? That's the difference between you and them. That's what the religion teaches you. You cannot destroy. You're going for the reason, and then you fulfill the reason, but you cannot harm other things because that's what religion teaches you. And when you know that, okay, wait a second, I'm not allowed to harm a woman, right? I'm not allowed to harm a man, a kid. I'm not. Look at the collateral damage they do everywhere when they go in a war. They kill. How many kids are getting killed in Palestine in a so-called war? So-called this thing. When you know that you're scared, and if you kill one person, it's like you're killing a whole nation. You will think 10 times before you do anything. You want to talk about fear? I'll give you fear. You rape a child, all right? You want to talk about fear? I'll give you fear. Sorry the way I talk because I'm passionate about all this. I'm passionate about kids, all right? You rape a child, you think it's okay to come out after 1 year? What fear do they have?
No.
So Imagine this. I'm going to give you two scenarios, and you tell me which one would you choose. You rape a child, and you're not scared because you know you're going to come out of after 1 year, because 7,000 pedophiles have just been released in America after 1 year, and 3 cases where they kidnapped and they raped and raped and raped and raped, and they came out for 2 years. No fear for them. No fear, because they're not scared of anything, because the government. Now, let me tell you one more thing. You go to a Muslim country, you rape a child, what happens to you? You get killed in public. The fear sits in with the people. Do you think other people they're gonna think 10 times before they rape a child or they rape a woman? You touch a woman in a Muslim country, your hand will get chopped off. Are you gonna touch another woman? No, you're not. The women are safe. So that's fear.
Okay, but what you're saying is then it's an eye for an eye. So it's okay if someone does something, and I'm not saying anything's right here, okay? Because there's no ways that murder or rape or any of that or child trafficking or that is horrible, right? It's horrible. It's not even. But what I'm saying is that where does it end? So what happens is that these people.
I can tell you where it ends.
Okay, just wait, give me a chance, okay? These people are doing these terrible things, and I know because I mean, if you go back on, I've spoken to these people. We've shared these stories on this podcast, right? They're horrible. So those people are doing these horrible things. So where does it ever end? So what you're doing is these people are doing horrible things. You kill those people, but then what happens is that other people do horrible things. I mean, where does this end? How do you end this cycle of abuse?
I'll tell you now, it's just quite simple. It is quite simple. It is right in front of your eyes. You can do your research. You can do it right now when I'm sitting there, and you can do your research. I'm going to ask you something, okay? What is the rape ratio in America? How many women get raped in America? Just give me a hypothetical. Give me a hypothetical.
I don't know.
All right, let's just say 20,000 women get raped a week. 20,000 women get raped a week. All right. How many kids get raped in America a week? Let's say 40,000, 50,000, right? Listen to my words and then you come back to me, okay? You said, where does it end? I'll tell you where does it end now. And you're the one who's going to tell me that if it makes sense or not, all right? You rape a woman, all right? You rape a child, you kill a child, you murder someone, you do all that, and you're out in a few years, all right? It never ends. The cycle never ends. Now you go into another country. We got 2 countries now, right? Let's have a look. We got 2 countries. We got A and B. A country has rules which are to protect pedophiles, protect rapists, protect child trafficking, protects all of them. And you ask me, where does it end? Rapist comes after 1 year. You rape a woman. You take someone's life. You rape somebody's daughter. Listen to my words. You rape somebody's daughter, a man who raised his daughter from the baby he fed. Okay, if I get tears in my eyes right now, right? And if I got tears in my eyes, that means that I'm passionate about it, because nowhere on this earth I'm ever going to let anyone say anything different to this, right? I've got a daughter, all right? And I swear on my mother's life, you touch my daughter, any man even comes close to my daughter, I will put them 6 feet under. And I don't care what anyone says. I will put him 6 feet under myself. I won't even think about anything, and I will put him 6 feet under. Then I will go to the police and I'll say, he's 6 feet under. You want to punish me? You punish me, but I have just saved somebody else's child from getting raped as well. Some other father, some other woman, all right, who couldn't have kids for 6, 7 years, and she had one daughter, all right, or one son, and he got raped and killed. How dare he gets away with it? So you got this situation, all right? So how does it end? It will never end because the government doesn't want it to end. Now you go to Saudi Arabia, all right? What's the rape ratio in Saudi Arabia? What's a child rape ratio in Saudi Arabia? Roughly I'm giving you. Most of the Muslim countries, right? Why? Because they're petrified of this. They're petrified. You rape a woman. Do you know what they will do? They will bury you. Imagine this now, right? Imagine this, and then you are going to answer me. You're going to answer me this question. You go to Saudi Arabia, you rape a woman, you get buried halfway, and then you get stoned to death in front of public. That you rape that woman, you take someone's wife, you rape somebody's wife, somebody's daughter, somebody's mother, you killed her. The whole family is going to live with it. That woman's life is gone, man. Who's going to bring her back? This government is going to bring it back? But in this government, in UK, in America, in the West, oh, he's out in 2 years. But when he gets put down halfway, stoned to death, there are billions or millions of people are watching it. Tell me how many other men will think twice before raping?
Yeah, of course.
Then you rape a child. You rape a child, and then in front of everyone, you get hung and get smashed with sticks. You raped somebody's child, man. How many people are going to rape? No one. No one. Do you want to have that? Do you want to be like that? You want to be there? You want to just for 5 minutes freaking fun of raping someone? You want to give your life up?
It's not even fun.
So you ask me, how does it end? This is how it ends, because we are too freaking weak. We have become weak on purpose. We have made this society weak. Now you got all this thing going on with transgenders, right? I got 100% support. If you got a mental illness, if you got a problem with your thing, that is fine. You got to have an age limit to it. Now watch this, right? This is what they're doing, and it's happening under your eyes and everything. But you said to me earlier on, oh, it's about, I can feel what I feel, and I'm okay with what I feel as long as I feel something is right. The rapist thinks what he's doing is right, because in his head he's thinking what he's doing right. A pedophile thinks now they want to bring pedophiles as a map. Minor attracted person. What the freaking hell is that? Minor attracted person? Imagine you got a daughter, right? How would you feel if your daughter get raped and get murdered and you see her in a ditch? What would you do? What are you going to do?
Well, you'd probably hunt the guy down.
No, not you. You. What would you do? This is where your inner self comes out, right? This is where you come out and you tell me, I want him buried alive. I want him killed because he killed my daughter. He raped her. You don't know what she was going through. You don't know. You know what? You don't know if she was asking for you. You don't know if she was begging for you when she was getting raped. When the child was getting raped, he was begging for his mother. So don't tell me all this. Don't tell me that it doesn't matter, because it matters to me.
No,
it matters to me.
Yes, but I never said it doesn't.
No, sorry, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the government. I'm talking about the government. I get passionate because to me, kids matter. Man, these lives matter. Losing a child matters to people.
Of course, of course.
Losing a wife, losing a daughter matters. A human life matters. We have made it so simple that killing someone is okay. We made it so simple that you rape a child, and you get away within 1 year. Is that fair? Is that fair?
Of course, because you've destroyed.
That child might have been asking for his mother, begging for his mother. Is that fair? And then you're telling me that this law makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense, madam. It does not make sense. It's not right what we are doing. It's not right. We need to change. We need to change now. Because if you said, how is it going to change? You live in a Western society. Of course it's not going to change because they don't want it to change. Okay. And that's the problem.
So what? But now that's good. Okay, I agree with you, right? On some level, but now how does it end now? Because what's going to happen as well is it's going to go totally to the other side, and you're going to have a witch hunt, right? So you're going to have
that's what I'm scared about
again. So how do you control this? Because what happens, you're always going to have people taking advantage of the situation. So you saying that that would be the way that it could work? Good, cool, whatever.
Good
But
work.
how do
It has worked for billions of
it has
years.
works? Yes, okay. But how do you stop people from having a witch hunt? How do you stop, like, let's just take a spin off here. Like, there's so many homeless people in the street, and they used to just let people, and there's a lot of mental illness. Okay, so there's mental illness as well. You've got to consider that. But in the 60s, people would just, there were places to take these people where they could get help in institutions or whatever, but then there were other people taking advantage because they didn't want their child or whatever. They'd put them in there. So how do you stop that? Because you have then it just becomes a lawless society.
Madam, there are bad people everywhere in the world.
Yes.
There are bad people everywhere in the world. Are you going to tell a robber not to rob? If you tell a robber 10 times not to rob, he will rob. A rapist will always rape.
No.
These people are bad people. They will always do it. So what we do...
But there's ways and means, because
that's what I'm about to tell you.
People are bad, but how many times you were abused, right? You've turned out to be great. You stand up for yourself. You've done really well in your life, right? You've become outspoken. You're a great pillar in the society. How many people that have been raped rape? Right?
Should I tell you something? Let me tell you a little secret.
That happens. Okay, I just want to know. And like, again, I'm not condoning rape. That's not what I'm saying.
Sorry, I know you. No.
Okay.
You're a beautiful person. You got a good heart. You're only speaking about these things because you want people to understand it. I understand. So please, even the viewers, you're only speaking because you're trying to get the truth out and you're trying to figure this out. So trust me, I understand 100%. So sister, I'm with you. So don't think that I'm not. I'm 100% with you.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, how many times like I said, you got out of it, but how many times do people that are raped rape later? So it happens a lot of times. People that see murder. So what I'm saying is that you say that's a bad person, okay, but he was raped or she was raped or whatever happened, they were raped. Something just went in that, just in their heads, just went crazy. You were talking about vengeance, and they want to get back to the world because of what happened to them. Does that make them a bad person? That makes them a broken person. So surely, and again, I'm Pollyanna, all right? I believe in love. Everyone's got some good somewhere, all right? Surely we shouldn't be destroying and killing and whatever. We should be trying to assist people. Okay, like that person that rapes because he was raped. He doesn't know any better.
100%, I agree with that.
Surely he needs help, and we need to be healing the society, not destroying society.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a prime example, and I will give you my example.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you my example. The best thing is, look, I can't talk about other people because I can give you my example because I've been through it. I know in and out about it. And you're a very good person for even thinking like this because you're trying to save the society. So anyone who's listening needs to understand something, that what you're doing is you're trying to save the society in the best way that you know. You're using your psychological thinking that how can you save these people who have been abused? I'm in front of you. I will explain it to you, okay? A person who hasn't been raped, a person who is just vindictive, a rude, a bad person, a bad human, he needs to be punished, right? But you have to have understanding. If, like me, for instance, right, when I got raped, and I got raped twice, and I got raped by fat people, and I got raped in such a bad way that even now, even if my son comes and hugs me like this, I feel claustrophobic. My wife knows about it. I was fatophobic, kind of a thing. I was scared of fat people. Not scared, I just didn't want to be near fat people. Why? Because I was raped by fat people. But the thing is this, is them who did it, not them. But I grew up and I understood, because the thing is this, it's all about your growing up. It's about understanding. Now I'm going to tell you something. This is going to shock you. this world is controlled by certain people. All right, and they don't want. I'm going to give you this. This is a written fact. You can Google it as well.
This is the end of part 1 of this 3-part series with Gianni Salvatore, and you will just come in and wait and check out chapter 2 or part 2 of the series. You're going to love it and understand why he's doing what he's doing. That is the most exciting. So on that note, remember to check out the self-love challenge, and I'll see you next time. All the details are at the bottom. Bye for now.